Elira stood before the mirror of flames, a relic untouched for generations. Now fire licked across its surface, revealing images not of herself but of Velmira in youth. The same golden eyes, the same solemn grace, and beneath her heartbeat something else stirred. A name not hers. Selvanara. It echoed in her dreams, in whispers around torches, in every flicker of heat that didn't obey her will. She ran to her mother's chambers that night. "Mother," she said breathlessly, "I think I'm her." Saris, always calm, simply pulled her into her arms. "No, Elira, you are you, but there's more inside you than just blood. You're a choice she made, and one we must help you understand. The kingdom of Ardanth fractured. Some hailed Velmira as a savior, goddess reborn, bringer of ancient balance. They built pyres in her name, burning away the old banners of kings. They called themselves the Flameborn. Others resisted. Clerics, elemental guilds, and border lords feared her return meant the end of free magic and of mortal rule. Kael stood between them. His throne, once a symbol of unity, now sat under siege. "Even your allies question your loyalty," Rowan warned. "They think you've bent knee to a flame that consumes kings." "I don't serve Velmira," Kael said. "I stand with those who still have something to lose." "But do you still believe we can win?" Rowan asked. Kael didn't answer, because he wasn't sure anymore. The first battle erupted in the plains of Sarnell, where Flameborn priests claimed the Temple of the Phoenix. Loyalist forces tried to retake it. They failed. The Flameborn wielded new magics, sigils etched into their very skin. Fire that healed, fire that controlled time, fire that walked. Kael saw the reports and grew grim. "Velmira is arming them," he said. "She's rebuilding her empire," Saris added. "Then we must strike now," Thalor said. "Before she finishes," Kael shook his head. "No, if we attack blindly, we prove her right. That mortals can't lead without fear." Sirius stepped forward. "Then speak to her again. Reason with her." Kael's jaw tightened. "And if she won't listen?" Saris didn't blink. "Then you will have to make a choice." Velmira stood atop the rebuilt Tower of Embers, gazing across a city reborn in flame. Pyres lined the streets, but none burned flesh, only memories. Broken swords, old creeds. Rotted banners. Kael approached alone. She did not turn as he came near. "You're still trying to save them," she said. "I'm trying to protect them," Kael replied. "There's no difference, not anymore." He stepped beside her. "Why choose destruction?" She turned finally, eyes softening slightly. "Because they won't remember unless I burn away the lie. I tried peace once, it was met with chains." Kael shook his head. "Then let me prove you wrong." Velmira smiled sadly. "You already have." Then she vanished into flame. Elira stood with Vara at the sacred grove of Isen, a place untouched by war. Here the roots remembered everything. Vara placed her hand on a tree older than flame. "Elira," she said, "Selvanara wasn't just Velmira's past. She was her daughter, one hidden to protect the future." The wind stilled. "I'm her descendant," Elira whispered. "No," Vara said, eyes glowing. "You are her reincarnation, but not just hers." Vara turned, her voice trembling. "There's another soul in you, one even older. The one who once sealed Velmira." A chill ran down Elira's spine. "Who?" Vara touched her heart. "Kael's bloodline is not just royal. It was the Flamebreakers. And now both the fire and the seal live in you." In the ruined sky temple of Telnar, Rowan fought alone. A Flameborn cultist had summoned a creature from beyond flame, black fire feeding on light. Rowan battled it with everything he had. Scrolls of forbidden chants, blades of frozen sunsteel. In the end, it wasn't enough. The beast pierced his chest. As he fell, he sent one final message, carved into flame itself across the sky. A name, Elira. Kael stood atop the high altar, crown in hand. Below, thousands waited, Elira beside him. Cirrus on his left, Thaler and Dusk flanking the rear. He raised the crown, and placed it, not on his own head, but on Elira's. "Today," he said, "the line of kings ends. A new fire rises." The crowd was silent for a heartbeat, then roared in approval. Not all, but many. In the shadows, Velmira watched and nodded. Velmira's last army rose from the flame trenches. Giants of ember and brass forged from the bones of the first gods. They marched toward the capital. Kael led the defense. Elira unleashed power like none had seen, blue flame spiraling like wings. Velmira arrived on a throne of ash. Kael approached her for the last time. "We can end this now," he said. "You already have," she replied, smiling. Then she raised her arms and the fire rose like a tidal wave. But Elira stood before it. "Mother," she said. Velmira paused. "You are Selvanara and something more," Velmira whispered. "I am the future," Elira replied. And she knelt, not in surrender. In peace, Velmira stepped forward and placed her crown in Elira's hands, then dissolved into flame. Years passed. The world healed, magic reshaped, not ruled by flame but balanced by memory. Elira ruled not as queen but as flame warden, keeper of both destruction and rebirth. Kael retired to the Southern Isles, fishing and smiling for the first time in years. Cirrus became High Arcanist, guiding the new schools of magic. And in the stars above, some say a figure of flame watches still, not as tyrant, not as god, but as mother, waiting always for the day her children might call her name again. The end